What?
A comedian, you may recognise him from... Thanks for coming in.
It was very local BBC radio, that. It was.
Well, this is like a level below that, isn't it? Which is
No. Having done all of the BBC radios, I can tell you this is a step above 95% of them.
Oh, fucking awesome.
Do you know, it was actually 2 years ago yesterday. You know when I won that award? The Dave's Best Joke at the Fringe thing, right? They put you in a box. So in BBC Radio Scotland, right, there's a room about the size of that coffee table, right? And it's just a little machine with headphones. And they put me in there at 7 o'clock in the morning. And we're like, right, so you're going to speak to every radio station from the BBC in the UK. And I was like, what? So then it'll just like start playing like Mr. Brightside or something. Then it'll go, right, that was The Killers with Mr. Brightside. We're back here on Radio Sheffield. My name's blah, blah, blah. And we've got Adam Rowe. Adam, can you tell us, what's this joke you've won an award with, mate? And you tell the joke. Then they don't laugh. And then they go, right, cool. So thanks, Adam. And then there's about a 5-second gap. And then it goes, and now we're on Radio Nottingham. It's me, Toby. And that was The Killers, Mr. Brightside. You have to do that same joke to every different radio station. They've all got the exact same fucking banter. Oh, it's so
and by the end of all of it, you just want to go, won't you cunts just pick one of the national BBC radios?
Just do one interview and then send it.
One. Just pick one. Hello, this is the BBC from where you fucking live with place names you recognise. Here's the weather from Shitville.
It's the bane of my fucking existence. I'm now at a stage of my career where I've told my agent, I'm like, no local BBC anywhere. Don't care what local BBC is, unless it's Radio 5 or 1. I'm not fucking
big dog.
I'm not
big
doing
dog.
Oh no, because it's no fucking viewership. The early years of your career, we've got to go on fucking BBC Radio Leicester and talk to 45 minutes to some cunt who googled your name 6 minutes ago. Right? Remember stuff from 7 years ago in your fucking career, and he sits there, and then you go do the gig the next day. You're like, how many people listened to me on the radio yesterday? And they go, oh, none of us. And you go, oh, that's right. I paid my publicist for nothing.
No, because it's 3:10. And they're at home washing the fucking dog. Will you come and do this interview? No, because you're not going to buy a ticket.
Yeah, and also, I don't want cunts who listen to BBC Swindon in my fucking audience. This is not my target fucking demographic. Why do I want to listen to? Why would I want to perform live stand-up comedy to any fucking cunt that chooses to listen to radio in the house during the day? Radio's for a car fucking home. That is it. If you listen to radio outside that hours, you're a fucking loser, and I don't want you in my audience. That's why I'm glad to be on this.
His publicist going to ring him tonight, like, got your an interview at 2 o'clock in the morning. Apparently you're okay with that.
You know, you could end these forever by just doing exactly what you did on there.
No,
this is BBC Radio.
I'm really hoping that clip goes viral. just so, like, you guys clip that down, that goes out, and next to my agent's like, can you watch the clip?
And then just do literally it at every BBC fucking A to Z shit town of that.
It's just that you've got like 3 or 4 types of radio interviewers that are employed by the BBC. You've got old man who nobody has the balls to fire. Like he's just been there for 70 years.
Been there for ages.
And they're just like, he's going to die next year. So if we fired him now, it'd kill. All of his opinions are wrong.
Yeah. He's touched a few women, but they was never charges.
Right. Then you've got incredibly sexist man who thinks he's the funniest man in the world and his long-suffering co-host. Yeah. So Jim actually thinks he's a little bit of a comedian. Well, that's the thing. I was in a taxi. You're like, oh, get me off the fucking air.
Resents you for being the comedian. Comedian is it?
I tell you, I used to make my friends laugh a lot back in the fucking day before my wife left me with all my joy. Oh, man.
Is there any interview you like? Is there any, like...
What? I mean, this sort of shit. Stuff where it's actual conversation. Because what happens is, and this happens a fucking lot, and I get so annoyed in those studio things where it's just you sat down in one room, just going through the same questions over and over and over again. And it's got to the point where I get bored and I just start saying things that I know shouldn't make it to air, but they don't have the balls to cut it off. Jared Christmas is one of my favorite, great comic, did one of my favorite ever things I've ever seen on the radio, and I hope he still does it. It was my first time doing Radio 1, right? When I was like 18, 19, I was doing like literally a 2-minute interview during the Fringe, right? And I thought it was the biggest thing in the world. I thought it was my big break. Jared Christmas is there, and he's been in the business, so he knows it's fuck all and it doesn't matter. And he goes, I'm going to say cunt on the radio. And I was like, Jared, please don't say cunt on the radio. This is like my first ever big radio. Please don't say cunt on the radio. My grand's listening to this because I'm about to be on the radio. Can you not say cunt on the radio? He's like, I'm going to say cunt on the radio. I'm going to say cunt on the radio 7 times. And I was like, Jared, please don't say cunt on the radio. Please don't. Right? Because he's Kiwi, so they interview me.
Were you on together? Or was it you after? Yeah, all right, okay.
So me, him sat beside each other, and they go, and I'm so nervous because he's going to say cunt on the radio, and I'm not going to be on the radio. So they give the mic to me. I fly through whatever I'm about to say. And they go, Jared, how are you enjoying the festival? Because he's Kiwi, he's like, I can't believe we're only 2 weeks in. I can't believe how amazing the audience has been. I can't believe how well it's been selling. I can't believe how tired I am. And I swear, can't. And I'm fucking dying there and laughing, just watching him get away with this.
Oh.
Aye.
Well, that's what they talk about on the American podcast, don't they? The futility and the absolute nightmare that is the local TV stations, the breakfast shows that the comedy clubs put you on.
I've done them.
Oh my God. And there was the guy that shut one down forever.
Sam Morril.
Yeah. When did you think you were funny? I think when my uncle was touching me.
Have you seen that video?
Absolutely. I love Sam Morril.
He gets asked something like, what do you get being funny in your family? And he's like, yeah, well, my uncle fucked me and like he was really funny. So I thought it was like a Spider-Man situation. Yeah!
And then it's just her just going. And next we got Steve with the weather.
and Good Morning Hartford.
8:30 in the morning.
don't have comedians anymore. But again, they don't buy tickets. Why are they on there?
So much of what you actually, I mean, this is good. This is the only real type of fucking interview where it's going into people that would go, I'm actually going to buy tickets to the show. You suddenly realise everything that you write for the fucking Guardian, every interview you do, it's not for the audience, it's for everyone else in your industry.
Yeah.
Right. So
that's exactly what I've never heard it put so succinctly. It's for everyone in the industry.
Yeah. Going, hey, this is where I am within the industry. Literally nobody outside of this gives a wet hot shit.
Yeah.
Nobody, none of my audience have ever given a fucking shit about any interview I've done in the Guardian, in the Telegraph, any review I've ever got. I guarantee no audience member has ever given a fucking shit.
I've never liked Daniel Sloss, but I read something really witty in the Guardian, and I've been a big fan ever since.
Yeah. And ever since then, I don't mind the fact that he says cunt all the
Where do you think, can I ask you a question? Where do you think your audience comes from? Because you've built it mainly from live, which like to a lot of people seems like the long route done it.
Aye.
But you've done it quite fucking quickly.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's, yeah.
I know you've had a lot of TV and very recently, like the 2 specials on Netflix and HBO, but like, it's not like you were putting hours and hours of stuff on social media because you popped and were touring before that was even a fucking thing anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a fair few good breaks in my career, and then also just took advantage of them and actually, nailed them and
worked.
Smashed it.
Yeah, like look, this is it would be a wonderful world if all of comedy was a meritocracy, and I think sometimes it is, but there's a lot of time we know comedians who are funnier than us who just will not ever be.
Who? Come on,
Mark Nelson. Mark Nelson's always
okay. Name another one.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, no, I know. I also agree with that. I also firmly agree with that.
But also working enough to when you get the next opportunity, because like to be like, all right, you've got an opportunity to smash this. Right, I'll do my best 6 minutes, and then they're like, great. Do you want to do it again in 2 months? We're like, I don't have any more stuff. Like you keep hitting it and keep working.
Yeah, well, I mean, my thing was always it's the standard. It's the George Carlin rules that became the Louis C.K. rules that became the Bill Burr rules, which is you write a new hour every year, and that's the rule. You take off a layer of yourself, you reveal it to the audience, and then you bin it, and that's it. And it's just turnover of material is the only and it's a good way of keeping an audience, because if you do a new hour every year, they go, fuck, I want to see what he thinks of this year, or go, what's his opinion on this, and so on and so on. And you build a relationship with your audiences, because I don't think like anything overnight success hasn't really existed in the UK since like fucking. Well, I mean, Kevin Bridges on McIntyre's Roadshow was the last thing I remember.
He popped, didn't he?
Yeah, there's a few on McIntyre's Roadshow.
Milliken, Manford, Bishop, Bridges. There was the class of the first season that
2008, 2006, around there.
Yeah, Kevin Bridges was doing. I think he was doing like a 50-seater in the Fringe, and that sold out with it, like after McIntyre's Roadshow had gone, it sold out in like 30 fucking minutes, and then he added in like 3 Pleasance Grand ones and like all
in fucking June as well.
Aye.
Yeah, I've sold out my Edinburgh run. When did you sell it out? 4 months before Edinburgh. Do you think maybe we should have got a bigger fucking venue? Any chance?
Second week of August, I'm like, hey, Saturday's looking good. There's 12 booked in already. 3 4s as well, so there's going to be energy.
I've still got flyers booked. They're actually flying for next year. It's just really well organised.
Oh,
yeah, it's amazing to see those guys who haven't earned their spurs, and they get the opportunities, because you were talking about a meritocracy,
isn't there? There's a lot of Theo Walcotts.
But you can go so
who
far.
Get that thing first, and then they go away, and you're the exact opposite of that.
But you can go so far. You will get found out. You can get given opportunities that you aren't deserving of, and you can fucking ride that fluky wave for a bit. But if you haven't turned up, like you've done, 9 hours at the Fringe?
10 hours, yeah.
Oh, sorry, 10. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
Didn't want to make you look like a lazy bastard by saying that.
And the fact it was in double digits made me look that way.
Yeah. But I mean, if you haven't done the fucking work, those opportunities, eventually you're going to be on a big stage looking like a bellend.
Aye, and and you do see it happen a lot, which is, comedians go on and they do their best 10 minutes of material that they've got on whatever TV spot it is, and then they do their second best 5 minutes after that, and then they're like, can you do another 10? And they're like, nope.
Yeah, because they're from the circuit. See, I started out 18 years ago. You guys started out when the circuit mentality had changed, and there was still some dinosaurs going, but I wrote a good set in 1994. It's paid off half my house. Why would I change it? Like, you guys are like, yeah, of course you write new stuff, why wouldn't you? But I've got, and that's what I've done and tried to do, but I've still got mates who started when I started, who sort of like, their coding was the old school way of like, it's a good 25.
It's not even for the audience for me. Like, to me though, it's for me. I get fucking bored of saying the same shit after 6 months. Like, the last sort of
6 months is not like that. Is not a lot.
I absolutely get where you're coming from. I did the same show fucking 300 times, and it fucking drives you insane. Like,
yeah,
it's you getting bored.
But imagine still doing that in 7 years' time, and we've just had the Olympics in London.
Mate, that's our go-to rhythm.
Yeah.
There's been another Olympics and a cancelled Olympics since then.
And I know exactly who you're talking about.
I think we've done very well not to name them.
The second you said, I'm like, oh.
This is our new favourite bit of sport, waiting, because gigs are starting up again, waiting to see the comics be like, tell you what, the coronavirus, the pandemic, absolutely brutal. I mean, it would have cancelled the Olympics in London. I tell you what, you look back now because of the coronavirus and the pandemic and COVID-19 and think, Brexit doesn't look any, as important. Anyway, here's my Brexit bit. Like, we've decided we're going to be back at the gigs going, cut for any of that shithousery.
We're going to see that megaphone up there, take that to gigs with us. Every time someone tries to crowbar in an old
just
bit.
wedge it in via
If you're going to do an old bit, be honest about it and just go, written on you guys, so Brexit's still funny.
Here's a joke I wrote that was relevant in 2020, and it's not yet, and I haven't written any new material since then because I've been sad. So I've just got still that stuff. I've not updated the new shit yet.
Mate, I worked recently with a compare who went, literally just, when you see someone talking, and he went, so, what do you think of the coronavirus? And they were like, yeah, not good. You're like, no shit. And because it wasn't a funny question, apart from if you're a comic, I'm the only bell end laughing, which makes everyone go, why is he laughing? You're like, because it's the worst compare question I've ever. What's your shutdown creativity like? Have you just locked it down, turned your head off? Or
creativity-wise, absolutely turned off. I took it as, like, I finished my tour last year in December. It'd been like an 18-month tour properly around the world. So I was knackered, sad, and fucking exhausted, right? And I was like, I can't wait for some fucking time off next year. I was going to have booked time off between May, June, July. Right, I was going to tour.
That would have been this year.
Yeah. Plan was go to America, do New York, build up a show there, go to Australia, work it up there, come back, 3 months off, go into the Fringe, bish bash bosh. That. And then
the dream. It's the international dream there for every comedian. Like, I go to these amazing places and do comedy in amazing places, then come home and do it at the Fringe.
I'm conscious now, right, that like quite a lot of comics listen to this podcast or watch it. And the amount of comics who are going to listen to you describe what would be an absolute dream year to them as bish bash bosh.
and if,
Go to New York, just stroll over to Australia, fuck around there, 3 months having a wank, then might just turn up and do a 400 seats in Edinburgh every day, you know, and then I might go on tour.
And can I just say, I couldn't have done it without BBC Swindon. The years of support that they gave.
Let's hand over to Carol with but you didn't get to do any of it, and you've done driving gigs in Falkirk. Yes!
Yeah, no, because it turns out I'm real shit at time off. I thought I was good at it because what I'm really good at doing is getting incredibly stoned and lying down on a beanbag in front of a computer or an Xbox and just playing games for it. And I'm like, oh, this is relaxing. But the entire time my brain's going, you're not doing anything. And that is so against the fucking grain. And there was about 2 months where I just, high anxiety, didn't know why I felt fucking useless. So my girlfriend's been working from home and she's been the breadwinner, and fucking the deep-rooted toxic masculinity in me could not handle that for the longest time. Just because even though, you know, it's relationships with you fucking together and you know, I've always been like, I don't mind. You know, I'm against those traditional fucking roles.
Yeah. As long as I'm earning more. Like, it's the weirdest thing. Like,
and I thought, I was
God, I'm
like,
a douche.
fuck me, I'm progressive. And all it took was a month and a half of smoking weed, just being like, God, you're fucking pointless. Look at her through there doing everything that needs to keep this together, while you sit on a couch just doing fucking nothing. So
is this where Twitch started for everyone? Like, I'm on a beanbag.
Stop the
I'm
inner
playing
monologue.
games.
Can I just double check? Are we getting enough of his?
We are now. Yeah.
Sorry.
He's a very theatrical.
It's like
I've never
me.
seen a sitter that's got more fucking. He's like, let me tell you, darling.
I was just thinking maybe we should move the table a bit closer. Is that something we should do or not?
I can just
break closer.
Yeah, I can just be more professional. I could just, it's well within my possibility. But I
You look like a man who's just driven down from Scotland and then has had to sit down again. You're like, oh God, do you want jogging? Anyone? Did you start a Twitch? Have you got a Twitch?
I can't, I have the worst internet connection in the entire of the UK. No, I do. I have the worst internet connection in the whole of the UK. My download speed is 2 megabits and my upload is 0.1.
Okay.
What? Yeah. To the point, and it's been the ultimate feeling of capital, and it's just my street. It's just my one street in Edinburgh. It's just outside the fucking fibre optic cables, whatever it is. It's been the ultimate feeling of capitalism through. Like, I've approached Virgin Media and I've went, I will give you this amount of money to dig up the road outside of my house and put the internet into it. And then everyone on the street will pay for the internet, and you'll have all this money and all these. And they were like,
Champion Sloss, you did it.
Aye, and they were like, no. And I'm like, what do you mean no?
Because Edinburgh's pretty, that's why.
My dad can't get Virgin Media. You know, like,
no, no internet company in the UK will deliver to this.
You look at Sky.
No. Sky Internet, but just the cabling of where I am is the maximum speed you can get is 5 meg.
Sky Internet is still through the phone line, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
It's not through the Sky.
No, but I can see why you think it was. I get why. I love it. And I was like, no, but but it's fucking annoying, isn't it? That's like time travel via broadband speed, isn't it?
It's one of the most frustrating things in the world.
Do you want to download a film? Yeah, for tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we do. We have to download on Sky. We have to if we want to download a movie to watch, we have to download it in standard definition, because if we want to watch an 80 movie, we have to download it today for tomorrow. It's just the worst. And it's not the worst. I mean, I've got a nice house and a garden, but it just doesn't suit the internet connection.
Yeah.
Are you still in the same house that I've been to? Have you moved?
No. Things have gone well since then.
That was still a nice house, though.
Thanks.
That was a nice house already.
No, it was a nice house it was a nice house in the sense that I was a fucking mid-20s moron. It was just a party house, right? That's all it was.
Yeah.
It was a place where I invited all of my friends round and we drank and did drugs, and Now I'm either slightly more of an adult, or I'm just putting on the clothes that adults wear, doing the voice in the hopes that one day I trick myself into.
And Kai doesn't live with you anymore as well.
Oh God, I hope not. If he has, I've lost him. No, we decided because he literally got married. Like he got married on September the 10th. My birthday is on September the 11th, and then September the 14th, we went on an 18-month tour. So his wife was like, "He's mine," and I was like, "You are very much mistaken." Allow me to tell you all the ways in which that is not the case.
For those who don't know what we're talking about the Geordie legend. He is Geordie, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's not a legend.
No, he's not.
He
He's not proper Geordie though.
He
He's
saved a child's life.
Yeah, they did. They punched a kid with cancer back to life. You remember that?
Yeah.
Oh right.
Yeah.
I honestly thought I'd missed a story, and I was like, "Wow, I didn't know you could do that with cancer."
There's a kid down a well, and Kai.
Yeah.
Fucking, I'll take the tumour and just fucking whack him really hard. Right, I just fucking popped everywhere. I just fucking twatted cancer. That's Blythe. That's medicine in Blythe for you.
Yeah, that's what the Geordie version of fighting cancer is. It's just going round and knocking out anyone with cancer.
Yeah.
Why didn't you fight at that event, the boxing night that we're talking about?
Oh.
Our listeners, we spoke about it before, so they'll know.
I was in New York. Oh. I was away, and so I was on tour. I absolutely would have.
Would you have fought Kai, or would you have? Because he fought Gav.
No.
Guy punches cancer.
I've seen Kai I would never. Anyone that fights Kai is an idiot. I have toured. I've been friends with Kai for close to 10 years now. I've seen him in multiple fights. I've never seen him come close to fucking losing. He's one of the most terrifying humans. I would never, under any circumstance, fight him.
Proper smiling assassin as well, like the nicest, happiest guy in the world.
But that's why it's terrifying. I'd always describe Kai. Kai's like a scummy Batman, right? He's never knocked out anyone who didn't deserve to be knocked out, but he does nominate himself to be the one to knock these cunts out. It's a very it's Judge Judy, but Judge Dredd. He's just like, you're a cunt. You need to know you're a cunt. I'll teach you. The police aren't going to do it because what you've done is not a crime, but to me it is. There was one time we were doing Leicester. I think we were doing Leicester. And it was my turn to fucking drive on tour. So start at the traffic lights. He's there, and the light turns fucking amber, and I didn't move off the millisecond that the light turned amber. So the guy behind me honks his fucking horn. Yeah, you know what it's like. So I rolled down the window. There's your dinner. There's one for your wife. Enjoy the rest of it. Like, just not thinking any about it. And I'm still talking to Kai. I look in the window mirror, and the guy is getting out of his car. And this, to me, a man who's never in a fight, is a nightmare. I'm about to suffer the consequences of my own actions. I'm not safe inside of a vehicle. Right, I thought I was. I turned around to Kai to tell him what's about to happen, and the door is open, and his watch is just fucking spinning in there, like in the Louis. Kai takes his watch off before a fight because he's broken so many watches punching people.
I didn't want to lose another Casio.
Putting £12 every time.
Yeah.
Fucking, what will I have for a swimming bath?
It vibrates whenever we've got 2 minutes left of me set.
What time did you knock him out? At 13:37. Exactly. So, literally, we're just in the fucking car. The guy gets out of his car. Kai gets out and just goes, "Get back in your car before I fucking steal it." And I watched for 5 seconds this man just outside his car, just look at Kai, reassess the situation, and just get back in his car, put his seat back out. And I don't know what he said to his wife, but it was something. Just him just being like,
"You're not going to do anything, Roger. Shut up, Maureen." Also, if you're thinking, God, this guy must be massive, he's fucking not. He looks like an otter with a heroin problem. Yeah. But he's one of them, you know, when you watch the UFC and they're a bit bandy, you're like, you don't look like, oh no, you're good. Fucking spinning kicks and everything.
He was just, because he grew up in Blythe, he just had the shit kick. Because he grew up in Blythe with like Coke lens glasses, ginger hair and shite teeth, he's had the shit kicked out of him in his entire life. So he's not scared of it. And it's kind of like a superpower in itself. Because I'm terrified of having the shit kicked out of me, whereas he knows what it's like and he knows he can survive.
He's good at it. At the first time I ever saw him gig, I was comparing Beat the Frog, and he'd been watching too much black American comedy, and he was from blithe and looked like a otter who'd had heroin. And he walked up and he did a bit of material that is one of my all-time favourite fail bits of stand-up material that beat the frog that I loved, didn't really work. But he was talking about, he was like, you know, it's such a weird visual with Kai, who's so white, and doing the rhythm and the timing of Black American comedy with his accent. He's like, I'm so good at eating pussy, me. I'm fucking amazing at eating pussy. And the crowd are like, what? And then he went, I'm like fucking the goat at eating pussy. I'm like the Tiger Woods of eating pussy. Right. And I was howling at the side, and they weren't really laughing. And he did okay. I think he got gonged off, but he held all right. But I saw him quickly come back and work it out. Yeah. But for the whole night, I went back on and just kept referencing random golfers and went, that's interesting. I am the Miguel Angel Jimenez of eating pussy. So that's interesting. I just kept doing it.
Sergio Garcia of fisting.
I absolutely. I'm the fucking Tiger Woods of eating pussy. Bet you are. I bet you are.
There's no one in the country who is less likely to get away with that routine.
Also, I'm pretty sure Tiger Woods is the Tiger Woods of eating pussy. Like a man who just ate all of the pussy all of the time.
Yeah, say what you want about Tiger Woods.
He can do both. He can golf.
Who would you have fought?
Fucking Jack Carroll.
I had water in my mouth. Oh, you can't do jokes about disabled kids when I've got water in my mouth.
I've told Jack Carroll about myself as well. And I'll call him out on camera. Jack, if you want to fucking go.
Oh, God.
I don't know who
don't get that on BBC Radio Swindon, do you?
For those that don't know, Jack is a very funny comedian with cerebral palsy. Regularly comes up to watch the UFC with me and other.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a famous? Sorry, I've interrupted you, but wasn't there a big night that you went up, didn't you?
There was a few. Yeah. So, no, it was during the Fringe. So there was the two that I remember at yours.
Conor McGregor,
Diaz, and McGregor Mayweather, which you came up for, didn't you? And Ian Sterling thought he was going to lose a lot of money.
Because
he bet heavily on Mayweather because he was like, it's obviously going to be him. So I'll just bet like thousands and I'll just get the extra like, I think it was like 1 to 7 or something. So he's like, I'll put $7,000 on and I'll just win $1,000. And then the first 3 rounds, McGregor landed a few punches and he's like, got fucking $7,000 on this.
Yeah, that's not good odds, is it?
No. They were amazing nights them though.
Oh, they were fucking brilliant back when Conor McGregor was still a hero.
Do you not like him anymore?
There's too many
things happened.
There's too many things that have shown me what?
I'm agreeing massively.
Oh yeah, there's just man. Look, he was the greatest fight of all time when I got to fucking meet. I set up the McGregor Mayweather fight. So I'm obviously, and I can prove that, by the way.
Oh, tell us about that then. Yeah, go on.
So Conor McGregor fighting Floyd Mayweather, right? The first time, there's an interview with Floyd Mayweather when he was asked when he became aware and when he wanted to fight Conor McGregor, and he says without a doubt it was when Conor McGregor called him out on Conan. Right? Conor went on Conan just because I could beat up anyone, could beat up Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather heard that, went money fight, we're doing it. That was the day that was decided. That day he was on Conan was because of me. Was because when I did my first Conan spot like 8 years ago, the booker of the show, a guy called JP Buck, is a good friend. We've been friends ever since. When Conor McGregor started, as a big UFC fan, I was like, you've got to watch this guy. He's the funniest. He's the best. He just kicks the shit out of cunts left, right, and centre. He predicts it. I love him. And so me and JP would watch all the fucking fights together, all the interviews together. Whenever I was over there, we'd watch them. And then one day he's like, oh, Conor wants to, this was before the Aldo fight got cancelled and it was going to the Mendes fight, just before that.
Good knowledge.
They went, Aldo just cancelled and Conor was meant to be going on Conan. UFC had asked to go on Conan to promote the fight. And JP was like, do you think Conor would be good on Conan? And I was like, yeah, he absolutely would. I think he'd be brilliant. I've seen all his interviews. He's funny. He was booked from that. I have a voicemail on my phone from Conor McGregor thanking me for getting him on the Conan O'Brien show.
Holy
which is the one where he
shit.
called out Floyd Mayweather, which is when Floyd Mayweather agreed to the fight. I set up the
Can
fight.
I give him a round of applause?
You can.
I
No,
thought
I'm
that
gonna
was
tell
going to
you.
be bullshit.
I set up Tyson Lewis. I did. So I was on the...
Talk us through it, Adam.
There we go.
Let me just get the bullshit bell ready. On you go. Let's see. No, he's laughing to give himself thinking time. This is part fake laughing. He's now thinking he's making up the lie. This is the bullshit bell, Daniel. We used it.
I was on the school playground.
That's phenomenal stuff.
And I was talking to my mates, and I was like, Tyson would smash Lewis's head in defo. And at that time, Lennox Lewis's best mate walked past the school playground
On the Cindy path.
on the phone to Lennox Lewis, and Lennox Lewis was like, hang on, what the fuck did that kid just say there? And then they had a fight.
Yeah, okay, good. There you go. Thank you. Very satisfying to let him go. Wow. What's the Conan like? What is it? 8 years ago. So what are you in that? You're like 3-4 years in at that point. Even that.
No, I was first time I did. I've been going for 6.
How old are you now?
I turned 30 in a couple of weeks.
Okay, cool.
But
You've been going for.
I've been going
14.
for 13, or close to 14 years. Yeah,
Oh, GG.
So you were 16.
yeah, 16 prob.
Heavy that.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I wasn't good, but get out of the way.
Yeah, but you don't need to be good, do you? You just need to be getting better.
You just need to. I mean, it's the one of everyone goes, "What's the one advice you give to a comedian?" Just go, get the fuck on stage and just do that for the longest possible until you're no longer 1, terrified of being up there, or 2, you don't care that you're scared of being up there, or 3, you resent them enough to make them laugh.
Oh, I thought you were on Conan like faster in your career path than that. So 6 years
Now you just
isn't
seem like
as
a
bad.
loser.
Oh, God, I mean, I did Conan after 3.
Oh no, yeah, it was
6 years to get on Conan. Fucking 6 years.
Yeah. Where did you get booked for it? Did you do a gig in Hull and they were like, the Conan people are in? We keep having to comp them.
Yeah, he has a second home in Hull. He was he was in the crowd.
It's really unusual. Usually you spend a lot of time at gigs in Lincoln, but they've really expanded the net.
The Fringe. One of the guy that books it came over to the Fringe, and God, I miss the Fringe.
He's a good guy, JP. And
He is, and he knows.
He's a good pint. He's a good late drinker as well. He's always there at those late bars till 5 o'clock in the morning.
He's also something that you don't really get much of in the UK, which is somebody who books comedy for a show who regularly attends comedy clubs. JP Buck, who books Conan, will go into comedy clubs every single week. He watches comedy all the fucking time. It's his favorite thing in the world. That's why he does it.
Knows comics.
Knows comics, right? And to do Conan is great because JP will sit there and go, this joke will not work on that fucking show because I know that show and this won't work on it. So don't do that. He knows shit. Whereas over here, you just get BBC people being like, look, we know you've got an audience, but we feel that your audience would like if you wore a tiara. And we know you've never done it before, but we're the BBC and we've got loads of black books. We've done things. Anyway, and then they just.
So there was no fiddling. They sort of bit of advice.
JP was he was like, would you like to do the show? Send me through what you'd like as a fucking set. I sent through what I sent through. I sent through, specifically in the set, a joke that I always put in all my sets because I know they're going to cut the joke out of the show. Just make every person who has to edit your set, make them feel like they did their job by putting in a joke that there's no way it's going to make to television. And then they go, I'll take this one out.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
I've got a question, Dan.
Yeah.
What's the joke?
They let me do it. It went out on Conan. It was my mum's sister has a very healthy outlook to contraception. My mum has a very healthy outlook to contraception, which is good because her sister is anti-abortion, which is a cruel nickname, but she's had 5. Right?
Yeah.
It's a joke that I always put in every single set because I knew the second abortion's mentioned, it'll get cut out and then they'll leave the rest of the set alone.
And Conan are like, this is good.
Yeah, man. On the set, you could see me laugh. The worst thing comedians do when they laugh at their own jokes. I did it on Conan because I could not believe that they let me tell an abortion joke at 7 p.m. on American television.
Amazing.
Because they fucking hate abortions over there.
Yeah, but it's filmed in LA and not like, Birmingham, Alabama.
It's not
Conan on the road. Don't have as many abortion jokes. Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
You okay? Do you need should we have a little breather?
Probably.
It feels like it. Because we both
laughed
went,
a lot. we all took a breath, didn't we? Whack a sponsor in here. And then we'll be back in a sec. What's happening, guys? Today's sponsor is beer52.com. They are the UK's #1 craft beer discovery club.
And they've teamed up with us to give our listeners a free case of beer.
That means you get 8 free beers, an award-winning beer magazine, and a tasty snack as your first free order.
And it's free. You pay nothing. You just pay the £5.95 postage and packaging.
You'll then be a member of their Craft Beer Discovery Club, and they send you a different theme of beers every month. Past themes have been the beers of Belgium, the beers of Korea, California, all over the world. Every month, a new theme, and they're always a belter.
You'll find craft beers that you'll never find on your own, and also you can pause your membership at any time.
So do us a favour, support the podcast, support our sponsors, go to beer52.com/word. That's BEER52.com/WORD.
Every time you sign up, we get a little bit of money, so you get your free beers. There's a little bit of money to support the podcast. It's win-win. I'm a member. I love it.
Let's get back to the podcast. We'll go and get some beers. Pause it here. Go and get some beers.
Beer 52.
So we sort of touched on this in the first bit, but Dan's had a bit of a question coming from one of our listeners that would be good to get your opinion on.
Yeah, I nearly didn't do it because I thought we'd sort of touched on it, and we mentioned Mark Nelson. And Peter Ronnie Williams, who gives us a load of questions, says, "Hi, Lids, would love to know which comedians you two would like to see have a big comedy special or DVD and go on to be massive like Bishop, McIntyre, Bridges, Sloss. For me, it would be Mick Ferry. I think he's amazing and would be fantastic on a special. Also, just to add on, you can't pick each other, you big nonces."
Well, then I'm not playing. I can't pick myself. I don't want to know.
I thought that was going to be really nice. You could be like, well, I'm not playing because I obviously want to pick Dan. But you're like, no, if I can't pick myself, then fuck it.
It's like trying to give yourself a blowjob and like, oh God, aren't you all great? So Mick Ferry was on that. Sorry, go on. But Mick Ferry was on that McIntyre we mentioned, wasn't he? The one that broke.
Mick's fucking brilliant.
Glenn Wool.
He's coming on in a few weeks, Glenn.
Glenn's amazing.
He's 2 guests away, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
He's dead good.
He's really good. I know she's done a bit of TV, but I think Zoe Lyons is fucking excellent in now.
Yeah.
Like in a live fucking environment.
They're 3 big dogs, aren't they? They're 3 of the big circuit dogs. Ferry, Wool, Lyons. If you saw a bill like that, you'd be like,
yeah, if that was at the Glee, then you're like, oh,
right,
shit.
Probably not do that new bit and that fucking shit bit I thought of on the M6.
Yeah, that's a top-end store bill. That's one of the best store bills you'll see.
And one where we would be doing the pussy spot and still terribly nervous.
Sean McLaughlin is a guy that gets a lot of love on here. I'd love it if he got I think his route would probably be someone giving him like a sitcom where he gets to write it properly. You know, like...
It's not going to happen though, is it? They just don't do that anymore. So you're brilliant at writing comedy. Do you want to write some comedy?
No.
You're brilliant at writing comedy, but Dave fancies to go as well, so you listen to him.
Do you mind if we just fucking interfere with the entire process that has made you incredible? We know you're very successful at the moment, but we'd like to use it and then also disrupt it at the same time.
As the BBC, we think that your audience that we know, you would like you to do.
Can you bring them to us, but doing our thing?
Yeah.
We want your audience to become our audience, but not by doing things you do because we don't like those things. We want you to do things our way so that your audience like the way we do things. Thank you very much. None of the effort. Thank you.
And can you get to Swindon? You mentioned Mark Nelson.
Mark Nelson's a big one. I think Nelson's just... Nelson, when I started the Scottish circuit, he was like...
I put Nelson in my top 5, I think, in the UK.
That's very... Yeah. We did a dream build, didn't we?
Did I put him on?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got Nelson in my top 5, I think. UK circuit comics. Like, you do not want to be closing the bill if he's had to go on in the middle for whatever reason. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, one of the ones where you just go, I do not want to fucking follow that.
Yeah, his thumbing the shit down the bath routine is just fucking...
Innit? The best comics have all the punters laughing, all the other comics laughing, all the staff laughing, and the promoter. Like that is there's comics that can do one of those things. Everyone can, there's those comics
and
who
they
are
stay for a pint. They stay for a pint. The best comics are like, I'll have a quick pint before I get off, rather than, no, it's fucking 9:07 and I've got to beat the road closures at 9:14. So I don't like them.
He's great. Martin Elson is great for a pint.
Yeah.
Because he's just so sound, but he doesn't dominate. You know, he's just one of them, and he's also good fun.
You'll say something very, very cutting that you don't even realise was cutting until the walk home.
Yeah, you just hear that.
What a lovely time at park. I can't believe you said that.
I went to a hip hop night with him in Birmingham, and we got steaming, and I was single, and he wasn't, and I was chasing this girl around who was fucking rough. And you know, you're like, I don't care, I'm single, I'm on my holes, I'm in Birmingham, when in Rome. And he just sort of witnessed the whole night happen in front of me. Yeah, fucking quality. Yeah. Fucking Nightingale doing fucking hip hop, is it?
That's a not bad Nelson impression.
It's a little bit fucking pedo-y. By the way. Making Martin Nelson sing a bit pedo-y.
Is there anyone sort of newer, sort of up and coming, you think it'd be great if they got there? Don't say God of War, because it'll make him too happy.
Well, I mean, that Jim, it was going to be War. Gareth War. Lord of Legs is really good. I really like watching her shit.
Lord is great, yeah.
Elliot, I saw Elliot Steele. I mean, he's a friend, but I saw Elliot Steele actual do an hour last year, and it was very, very good, which is so different to his other stuff.
Yeah, not for me on that one.
Yeah.
What's he doing with his hair? We're talking about too many comics and no one knows in the art.
All right, let's flip it around. Which famous comics do you want to see allegations come out against?
Oh, here we fucking go. Well, I mean, the ones that we all know have done stuff. How about those ones?
Is there another advert break? Jesus, Dan.
Yeah. You know that big one that we all know, but we're not allowed to talk about that one, I reckon.
Why aren't we allowed to talk about it?
Because whenever people try to... We hear that they get silenced and then we get scared, and then it's also because... the libel laws are awful, and if you can't prove something, you can't say something, and people who have done evil things don't want even rumours to go around, so they'll sue and they'll harass, and because the world is fucked, Adam.
Yes,
yeah,
fair enough.
He's got a really good career. Your career's going places, and I've got a house. So let's just be yeah. When we started the podcast and we were on like 800, 1,000, for those first few episodes, it was the Wild West. We were like, hey! And now all of a sudden you're like, yeah, better be careful. We're on the YouTube.
Without mentioning any names, I will tell this story. The comic we're talking about, who is allegedly a bad person in a sexual way, there was a comic doing a show about him in Edinburgh. And the bad comics management team and PR got in touch with the comic doing the show and was like, stop doing that. So he spoke to a lawyer, and the lawyer went, you actually can take it a couple of steps further than what you're already taking it. And it made the show more libelous, but not libelous enough to be actually libelous.
Have you ever written a joke where you're like, I love this bit? You know, when you sometimes run it by a mate comedian, if you have to run it by a fucking lawyer, like I'm just going to check with counsel.
Yeah. Can I say it? I mean, yeah, but surely the fact that you're talking to us suggests that maybe just stick to knock once. Like, this just feels, how funny is the joke?
Could you print it out and fax it over? It doesn't read funny.
Have you had anyone, like producer-wise, when you've done TV or something, tell you can't do a joke? Did like any specials, have you had to take anything out? Or
not specials, no. But yeah, fucking stand-up routines, absolutely. I've been told that I can't do... jokes on the BBC, but no, they can't do jokes on Channel 4. Like, I did live at the Palladium a couple of years ago, and I think I was like, there was real because I want to talk about smoking. I've got a joke about smoking weed because I smoke weed and have done for most of my life, and I don't think it's a bad thing, and I want to talk about it, so I got a good joke, and they were like, you can't talk about it, man, on the BBC, and I was like, but you can, and nobody cares. This is like, the only reason it has power is because you're making it taboo. And yeah, they get really weird stuff. They'll cut out jokes. I remember I did the Paul O'Grady show. It was my first ever TV break when I was 17.
I remember that, I remember seeing that because my mum used to watch that.
Oh, God.
So I'd come home from like sixth form or something, and you were on it. just doing stand-up
With my
for
fucking
no
long
reason.
And it was for no reason. But I used to have a joke when I was talking about like me and my dad having a misunderstanding. Like, I think he's talking about sex, but he thinks he's talking about shaving. And one of the lines is, "Oh, well, the first time you do it, there's going to be a little bit of blood." Right? And they were like, "Blood's just too visual for all of it. So can you just say mess?" And I'm like, "The first time you do it, there's going to be lots of mess. That's worse. Blood's way tamer.
Mess could be jizz.
Yeah, mess is way
Mess
more.
could be a combination of blood, jizz, and shit. Just everywhere, pasted all over the walls.
What about blism? Blood, shit.
Sounds like
Blishism.
Sounds like an MC.
Blishism.
MC Blishism.
A Jewish MC. What were Netflix like? I mean, the rumor is that they're just like, do what the fuck you want.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't. I mean, they didn't ask for anything. But this Jigsaw, we filmed that to their specifications and just sent it through, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll absolutely take that." They didn't really care much about the material. They trusted me as a comedian too. They wanted a lot of input on how it was filmed and that side of things, which, you know, my agent was annoyed with, but as a comedian, I didn't give a shit. But comedically, they interfered with absolutely fuck all.
So what?
And it was great.
Is that essentially just them wanting the specs to be right?
Yeah, specs, just like it needs to be this quality, it needs to be this many angles, and there's certain things about what you can and can't show, I think, but not one single problem about material. Yeah, not a single problem. Aye,
Same with HBO.
Fucking dream.
The only problem we ever wasn't even a problem, but the only sort of hurdle we ever encountered with HBO was because the show X is about I talk about sexual assault because of, I mean, you know the story.
Yeah.
The whole show is about sexual assault and male complicity and all. I had never put a trigger warning on the show X when we were touring it, just because I was like, if I put a trigger warning on the show, I think it'll like dissuade the type of person that's usually, if you see a trigger warning, you're like, oh, what kind of show is this that's got a trigger warning on it?
Yeah,
I know that reaction, so I didn't want to do it because I thought it would, isolate or exclude people who I thought should see and enjoy the show from a neutral fucking perspective. And then eventually a bunch of women walked out of the show in San Francisco, not because they hated it, but basically because I was talking about rape, and they'd been raped, and it came out of the blue and they were upset. So after a long discussion about them, I was like, every day before the show I'll get Kai to mention, not do a public trigger warning, but Kai will do one just before I go on stage explaining that these are the topics that come up, just so that people who have gone through something like that have time to emotionally prepare themselves for listening to the most dramatic thing in the world. And it worked, and it was one time where I was wrong because I'd really fought against trigger warning for a bit with people, and then that was enough for me to make me go, okay, right, fine. And then we approached HBO with the same thing, and they were like, "Yeah, they made a trigger warning." And we were like, oh, but it's going out on national television, and it's about sexual assault, and the thing is, like, quite a lot of people have been sexually assaulted, so it's nice to warn them. And they were like, "Nah, we think it'll be fine." But once I had one phone call with them and explained it to the guy, they were like, "Oh, right, sorry." It was one of those things where it almost got wrapped up in we don't normally.
They did what you were doing a year before when you were going, no, you don't need a trip, but then you understood it. Yeah. It was explained to you, and the same thing.
We've talked about people walking out because they hear trigger words and subject matter, but
I'm absolutely fine with it as long as you just go away. And
every single person ever, and I spoke to every single person that left my show X, like, because of every single one of them. It wasn't because they were angry or upset for you. It's because, you don't get to choose how some people react to things, right? Even though something might not be like diabetes, you might not give a fucking shit about diabetes, but somebody in the audience says their dad could have fucking died of diabetes, right?
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean none of us should do diabetes jokes, and it doesn't mean they should be fucking banned. It doesn't give this person a right to stand up and be like, you can't fucking joke about it. But I do think there should be some more empathy and understanding where you just go, right, I can understand, and I'm genuinely sorry that me bringing up this topic did upset you, because obviously as a comedian, that was never my intention. And so I'm going to apologize for bringing up this thing and not warning you about it, as long as you're also willing to admit that that's not what I fucking meant. You know that I intended it as a joke, right? Even though it didn't come across as that, and I've taken my responsibility for that, you've got to admit that I wasn't being like, murder's the best, all people with fuck the dyslexics. You know what I meant.
Yeah. I'm on the exact same page. If you're you're upset by something and you go, I'm not really into this, and you just quietly fuck off, perfect. Everyone's a winner. You're not listening to the thing that upsets you anymore. I can still keep doing what I want to do at my show. You're in my house. So if you don't like it, you leave. I don't leave. Then that's absolutely sound. It's when... I'm sure I mentioned this exact quote to you the last time we spoke about it, but it's so many episodes ago. I'm pretty sure Joe Rogan said something like, trying to get people who are laughing at a joke to get upset at a joke is like being in a restaurant and trying to get everyone else to hate the food just because you don't like it. It's like, this linguine is awful. And everyone's like, no, well, we're actually quite enjoying it. No, no one should like this linguine.
Mine's was undercooked, therefore yours all must be undercooked. I'm going to save us all from
The
it.
thing is, I get a lot of walkouts because I've got this edgy bit about the Olympics in 2012, and a lot of people can't handle that. So
it's just the comics in it. You see the rest of the bill, just go, he's doing that again. Fuck that.
Fucking brutal.
That is a hard thing to say as a comedian. That is the worst type of walkout, when a comedian leaves the back of the room.
Well, I think phones are fucking brutal for that because you think you're being sound, but all of a sudden you're like, what's the blue light? I recognize that bored-looking face. Oh, there's 4 of them. It's just the comedian's like, oh god, just a load of cunts bored of your material on Instagram.
And then occasionally they'll just when they hear a joke of yours that they've not heard before, they'll just go, ah. Just so that you go, they were there, and that's enough.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? With comics laughing, you're aware that audience members are looking at you. You can potentially be seen by other comics. It's quite a high. You can understand why comics just like, I want to be in the dressing room and not have to do it, because especially if you're at a comedy club and people are like, oh, it's Daniel Sloss. And you clock them, even if you're trying to just watch the show, then you're aware that they're watching you watch the show. It's like, oh God. Yeah. So now if you're just not laughing, like, God, he's a moody cunt, isn't he?
He does not enjoy jokes about cerebral palsy. What a hypocrite. What an absolute.
Yeah, and then there's people who laugh too much. You're like, all right, fella.
You
get it.
Yeah. You've told me off for that before, haven't you? Like when I just lose it laughing and he's like, it's like you're trying to let the comic know that you get it.
Yeah.
Because my laugh's so distinct. I'm like,
I laugh like that sometimes, especially when the comic's doing bad, because, and I know this isn't true, but it is true, the audience is fucking wrong. There's so many times when like there's a great comedian on stage doing a bit that is fucking killer and the audience aren't laughing, and as a professional comedian, and it's my job to be funny, so I am the expert in this room, you want to go around to these people and go, it fucking is funny, this is hysterical, and that's what the laughter is if you, like, I feel that if I laugh loud enough, other people will know that it's okay to laugh, especially because I'm laughing so profoundly at it.
I think that might be worse than like Daniel Sloss isn't laughing rather than you going, come on, dickhead.
We all find pedophilia funny. Come
on. Shall we do some would you rathers, Adam? Do you want to?
Yeah.
Have you got one? All right. Am I doing these?
No, you've got them, haven't you? I've got to have a word for us in a bit.
Would you rather? We do would you rathers. It's good. You know, like
me and Kai do would you rathers on our podcast. They're great.
I fucking love a would you rather.
It's a fun, easy way to ignite a debate.
Oh, well, thank you for that. Little peek behind the curtain there, Daniel. We'll put that on the DVD extras.
That's for the Patreon listeners.
One for the fucking insiders. But we've run out of them. Can't think of any, so now we just let the listeners do it, and it sometimes works interestingly. Would you rather your cock size is halved, but everyone that sees it thinks it's twice as big as it originally was, or your cock size is doubled, but anyone that sees it half the size that it was originally?
I can tell you right now that I know that he's got a massive dick.
Well, thanks for listening, everyone. I mean,
I've heard Kai describe it as a baguette without even blinking. So this is the worst question to ask.
I would like a smaller penis, yeah. Anything, but if you were to double the length of my dick, I'd kill someone. So I'll go for that. And I've also,
same here, mate.
I've also had 10 years of people knowing I have a big dick. So it's
Yeah,
if for the next 10 years people think I've got a small dick, fair play.
Nah, it's the same answer for me. Couldn't double this, bad boy. What would you wear? Fucking pricks. But he had a medical penis reduction, apparently. If I go half, I
Go
honestly, I basically don't have a dick for the winter.
When I was a kid,
I'd have a hibernation penis.
Just go,
Everybody be like,
baby, we can't have a summer baby. We just can't. During those months,
we are not going to conceive October to March.
Yeah. You shove yours in me because we might as well see what happens. Because I assure you, this stopped being a dick round about November.
Spring, the flowers are budding, and here comes Dan's 2-inch dick, all sleepy from the winter. Morning has broke.
Your first erection is like Groundhog Day. It like symbolizes the end of the long winter. Bill Murray comes out to check if Dan's got his erection every morning.
Punks a tonny dick. Like, oh my god!
Like, how big is it? Like, use this. Show us on the doll.
You got a pencil sharpener.
It's not big.
Let's get a pink one.
It's not. In and around. Within a margin of error.
So you'd have to half it.
No.
Would you be happy if it halved? Is it that big?
No. Like I like the size that it is. It's a good. How any bigger would be terrible.
But that's what everyone says. That's what my wife tells me. It fits perfectly. It fits perfectly. I have a tiny
my vagina is oversized. It's like wearing an oversized hoodie.
Honestly, do you know when you put on a hoodie that's just so big and you get lost in it?
Yeah, I've got a TARDIS fanny. I'm small on the outside, but I swear to God, you better give your sperms a map because
I would like to conceive, but unless there's an Uber from dick to fucking eggs.
It's just, it could end up anywhere. I once sneezed, and I swear, it's all connected to all of it.
A TARDIS fanny?
Doctor, who's in there? Who's in there?
Oh, God. I laughed a lot there. You know the podcast is called Have a Word?
Yeah.
Should we do some Have a Words as well? Or do you want to do that?
Didn't you have another Would You Rather?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I did. No.
No?
Have you got one? No, you've got to have a word.
I've got to have a word, yeah.
We really prepped this bit, Dan. I don't know what BBC Radio Swindon are like, but we really work at this. Oh, no, we've got that bit of advice.
Oh,
There's fucking rarely people actually ask for advice. Like, Have a Word is meant to be us sort of passing judgment on people's friends and family when they're being a bit of a fucking bell end. But this one is from a listener who's asked to be anonymous and genuinely wants some advice. All right, wonder if you lids could give me some advice. I've changed their names as I'm not sure what to do and could also keep my name off the pod. We will. I just won't mention the names. My sister is married with 3 young kids. She's a care worker, so she's been working throughout lockdown, usually 12-hour shifts with very little time off. Her husband has been furloughed, no judgment, so is home all the time. So my wife's sister is single, and she's on dating websites, and recently discovered that this guy, my sister's husband, is on Tinder looking for other women. So we all know now. So my wife says we should just leave it as it's not our place to interfere. But I want to tell my sister, as I would want to know if my other half was on dating sites behind my back. I don't want to confront him as I'd be scared of beating the living shit out of him. I also thought of catfishing him, but don't know how to make the big reveal. The thought of him messaging other women while she's caring for the elderly and dying is making me livid. Any thoughts and ideas are welcome.
I'm telling you right now, his wife is on Tinder as well. If there's a woman who doesn't want to get involved with this drama, is like, no, we should leave it. She's fucking hiding something.
Right, so that's where your head went to instantly.
So you reckon she's projected that into her own life. She's like, I've got to be against this so that he's very aware that I'm not doing this, even though she is. Is that what you're saying?
No, so the guy who's wrote in,
yeah,
it's his sister's fella. isn't it? Who's on the thing?
Potentially cheating on
But
him.
the guy who's written in, his wife has said,
Leave it.
Leave it. So his wife,
You think she's cheating on Tinder?
she's on Tinder because she's going, no, just leave it. There's no way. I've never met a girl in my life who would be dealt with this situation and go, I'm not getting involved. That has got secret spies written all over it. There's
just sounded a bit
no way.
Yeah, leave it, love. It's boring. Anyway, what we watching on TV tonight?
I'm not having it. Bullshit.
Also,
Camera, just one sec. She's shagging someone, mate. I'm telling you right now.
Poor bloke just writes in to get some advice. Dear Agony, just sat in his car, be like, I can't believe Adam and Dan are going to answer my question. It's been plaguing my mind for the last week. What to do? My poor sister, I love her so much.
Linda!
Just in traffic, tears streaming down his face.
She's shagging someone. I'm telling you.
Would you get involved, regardless of what your
Yes.
wife's up to? Would
If
you
my
be like,
sister was, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a cousin who's like a sister to me. Her name's Dolly. If I found out, say, a fella was on Tinder, yeah, absolutely.
do you go to her or do you go to him?
I'd go and batter him and then I'd go to her with his blood in a bag.
Fucking, I punch the cancer out of him. What would you do?
Yeah, just go to her. Fuck him. Just go to her and go. There you go. Like that's. I assume you've broken up now. Let's all move on together and then just not fucking acknowledge the cunt.
But they've got 3 kids together, haven't they?
It's
3 young kids.
it's high wire.
Put them on
stuff,
Tinder.
innit?
Is that how it works? You can just put them on.
You've
Put them on
got some
Tinder and
really
then
good
hand them
options,
away.
haven't
Yeah.
you? Prostitute the kids
Yeah.
or your wife. Everyone's fucking everyone. Some pretty bleak advice here.
No, I didn't mean put the kids on Tinder to be like to have sex with the kids, but just like, hey, me and my girlfriend broke up. Does anyone want these? Like, you know, use it as an adoption.
Like
Where
Facebook
in the-
Marketplace.
Yeah, where in the Tinder?
Why isn't there an adoption Tinder?
Yeah.
Because it's for shagging, not adoption.
Right.
Get the kids on Tinder.
But
Swipe
like
right,
at the
swipe left,
minute, with
adopt.
adoption, you just get fucking lumped with whatever they give you. If there was a Tinder, you'd be like, don't want that one, don't like the look of that.
Well, to be fair,
Fuck that kid.
I think any adoption company, where if you were to walk in, you'd be like, by the way, I fundamentally care what the child looks like. They're going, well, in that case, you're not getting a child. In that case, there's no way we're giving you one of these neglected, fatherless, motherless. If your first question is, can I get a fucking fitty? Because fuck raising an uggo, you just don't get to adopt. It's not for, get a dog, rescue a dog.
Little
saying they have to be attractive,
little
but,
Timmy
you know,
really
you-
needs a home. Like,
If
what?
you were going to adopt a kid, would you not want to look at it first? Would you not want to know?
But yes, but that's why I shouldn't be allowed to adopt, because that's not how adoption should work. It should be that these
Because they don't give you a baby. You're looking at getting like a 17, 18 placed kid. Like by that age, you know what they're going to look like.
Well, but then it's not just, you're not just going off looks. Then once they've developed a person, I want to know what the kid's like as a person.
So you want a video?
Have a chat.
Aye. Well, then again, the kids can just catfish you. Maybe they're just, you know, if they do it on Tinder.
I
They
love
give
the
you like
idea.
a brochure. Are they still on?
I love that they were trying to develop an app for a fucking for Bernardo's. Well,
for a problem that does not exist.
if you want a kid, it's an absolute nightmare going to see them. They're sad and they smell a little bit. Go on lonelychild.co.uk. Swipe left to be interested in adoption. Swipe right to give them a future
Also-
of darkness.
Every time you swipe left, we let the kid know how many families have rejected.
You got 7 no's today, John. 7
no's.
I can't believe it.
Did anyone's fingers like hesitate or hover? None at all. We have all that information.
There's little Jamie in the
How-
corner going, oh God.
How does it
Adopted by
work?
7
Though?
families.
Do you get given any pictures when you adopt?
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
You
yeah.
get to meet the kid. It's
No,
not
you do.
like
Where are you getting your kid from? What do you need pictures
they just
from?
deliver it like Amazon. You reckon Bezos just fly?
Are you getting an international fucking
I thought there
kid?
was a big book and then you wrote down what you wanted and get them
If
out the
I'm
back.
adopting, I definitely want someone from a poorer place in the world that makes me look good. Because one from Loughborough's fucking boring, isn't it?
Also,
Where did you adopt from? Loughborough, Malawi. That's where I got my kid from, because I'm a better person than you with your Loughborough child.
Also, just like but imagine you were to get one. Imagine you would adopt a kid from Edinburgh and for them to come and judge your house. They'd be like, "Oh, is this where I have to live? Go back to the fucking home, then."
I'd fucking hate to adopt a child from Edinburgh as he walks around and go, oh, Christ.
Well, you say you get to meet
3
the kid.
stars for this fucking shithole. Although the internet is very quick. I'll give you that.
You say you get to meet them, But like after you've met them, can you say no?
Yeah.
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 To the face though.
Yeah, you've got. Yeah.
Gotta tell.
They do it like The Voice. Little Timmy comes in like, hello, I'm Timmy. My parents were nice to me. Better be fit.
Turns around. He's in a wheelchair. Nice. Hey, I fancy the parking. It does look. It does. Looks easier.
Oh God, my ribs are hurting.
It's such a funny episode.
You've got a tear under your eye. We're talking about adoption and you're crying for the wrong reason. Oh God. So on a serious note, I hope everyone's all right.
I'm genuinely asking here, right? So you've met the kid.
Yeah.
You don't fancy that one. As in you don't want to take him, not
Yeah,
that
of
you don't want
course,
to fuck him. You don't want that kid. Can you say to that adoption agency, I don't want this one, but let's look at what else you've got in the back? Or do you have to go to another adoption agency?
In the back? In the stock room?
Kid room?
Yeah, sorry,
With a
hold on.
forklift.
Yeah, no, I'll just check. We've got a wide range of colours.
Have you got this in black? Jesus Christ.
I think there's, you meet
You don't know, Daniel.
I don't know,
You don't represent the Adoption Board of Scotland. I love it. I was going, Adam, let me talk you through it. None of us know. Adam's going, Dan, can you tell us? Yeah, we've talked about Conan. That was fine. What about adoption?
Yeah, look, if I were to run it, here's how it'd work. I'd
You know,
love
if
to.
me and Jade did adopt and we did get a black one, I would pretend forever that I was completely oblivious and that I thought it was mine.
That would be a fun bit.
Oh, that'd be a good bit.
It'd be funny, that wouldn't it? Just forever.
Every time you. So, did you guys adopt? No.
No.
Huh?
Wait, so like a surrogacy or?
No, he's just, that's our kid.
Oh, and so were you there?
My sperm, Jade's vagina. Woo, baby.
Sex education with Adam Rowe.
Oh, God.
I genuinely would like to adopt just because I just think it's the only way Scotland will ever have a good football team.
Where did you get it from?
Oh, England. It's like just anyway. Oh no, for me, I'm a genuinely true believer in like nurture over nature.
Yeah.
And recycling. So
And also, you don't want to give the world a child with a dick as big as yours. It's
So
just not
nature
fair,
over
is it?
nature. So you think
So
you can teach a kid to be good at football rather than he's born with it?
oh no, sorry. I mean in the sense that like regardless of where I adopted the kid, it would be my kid. Like once you've adopted a child, it's.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were making a serious point. I thought we were doing jokes, and I'm like doing a dick child joke, and we're like nurture nature. I'm like, really in my head, I was like, no, that's a lovely point.
Back to the dick jokes. If my son didn't have my dick size, that's when I'd be going up to my girlfriend, being like, "Who is he? Who is he? Why does my son have a tiny cock? Who is he?
Oh my God.
Who is he? Was he better than me? Clearly not. Clearly not. So what else was it?
Nature nurture though, yeah.
Nature nurture. Yeah, it's all about.
I've got to have a word.
So can we just what's the
yeah.
advice? Have we
what's
just
the
go
advice?
and say
No, so our advice is to adopt, wasn't it? That was the advice. That's what we got.
totally? I think we might
Advice
have
is
got
to
off
get
track.
rid of these 3 kids, find 3 more on the app,
Right.
and then tell his sister to fuck him off.
I can't.
You've got to go and tell his sister.
You have to
He's
tell
got
the
to go
sister.
and tell his sister.
Christmas is coming.
The goose is
And do
getting
it
fat.
before Christmas because it's going to be cracker,
Christmas is coming,
and
the
then it's
goose
going
is
to blow
getting
in it.
fat. Her husband's on the Tinder because he's a dirty fucking rat.
Wow. Those rap battles
Bars.
have done you well, haven't they?
Aye,
Bars.
I'd gently break it to your sister, and or download Tinder onto her phone, and then just okay, she'd know.
Or do a gender
Just
reveal where you
tell her.
pop the bloom and it's just a photo of him on Tinder.
I'd do it privately, though. I wouldn't go around and have a scene. I'd just go, mate, I've got some fucking shitty news. You can do with what you want, but this is happening. Don't be like through the fucking Tuesday
You'll
night.
never guess who's cheating on you.
Swatting dominoes everywhere. Everyone, living room, family meeting.
Not family for long though.
Have we got an actual have a word? Can I play the theme tune?
You can go.
Yeah. Can't hear it, Dan. Sorry. Right, I'm probably not going to do that because Dan can't fucking.
Oh yeah, I can.
We need to.
vaguely hear it.
Oh, can you?
Friends, this was gonna be the whole podcast. Now it's just the final 10%.
I've loved today. This has been a fucking belter. I've loved it.
Dead good, on it. Funny,
Oh.
funny. So,
Phew.
just before I read this, right, you should know, our listeners, we never really set this up. at all, but they started just emailing in, but they would choose not our names. So I'd be like Alan and Denzel.
Oh, someone called me Dave accidentally. And that's how, and now we're getting Adnad and Deny and.
Well, today we've got hello Abercrombie and Ditch.
Oh, nice.
That's good.
Yeah, nice.
Your Ditch.
All right. I think that's the thing that was going to break me. The fuck? Where have you been for 90 episodes? Your ditch.
Yeah.
Have a fucking minute. Like I'm going to go too far. I mean, the adoption thing was funny.
Dear accident and detergency. Stay down.
Abercrombie and Ditch, have a word with my brother for me. He's an absolute liability. Whenever we're on a night out, he can't just have 4 pints and go home. He has to have 30 bevies.
Just such a scouse email. He can never just have 4 and drive home.
4's not that many.
To drive home?
No, but it's not that many to just...
Oh, no, I agree. Aye.
He has to have 30 bevies. He's out till 6, 7, 10 a.m. Basically, it's impossible to... basically, until it's impossible
He's
to
out
get
the bevies, is he? He's fucking...
6, 7, 10 a.m. He loves pale ale. Sometimes he goes 2 days.
Man, you should see how chatty this guy is on a Guinness, lads. Honestly, after a couple. Oh... pints!
Do you know when you just had 4 gin and tonics and you want to go dancing for hours?
Lads, I can't just have 4. You know what? I now believe he's only having 4 pints.
I love Bacardi Breezes.
He then spends his next week borrowing money to survive on shite food and cigs.
I wonder what he spent it on.
He's an absolute fiend, mate. Very apparent. He then gets paid, he pays whoever he owes, and it starts all over again. Can you tell him to grow up? He's 24, nearly 25. He needs to get himself a beard, calm down, rather than shagging any coked up troll who'll let him every single weekend. He's had so many STDs, I'm pretty sure he's immune to COVID because he's basically part man, part antibiotic. He loves the podcast, and he's more likely to listen to you than any of the lads. Thanks from Connor Whitehall.
Coked up troll. Fuck you. I love them girls. I'm not tired. No, you're not. Neither am I. Where should we go? Well, it's nowhere with this dick. Because it just turned out it's the winter season.
In July? Yes, in July!
Yes, in July.
What do you reckon?
Well, I mean, can you stop a 24-year-old? Is the question to try and convince a 24-year-old to stop doing cocaine and drink? Yeah, oh, yeah, sure, I'll give that a go. No, there's
He'll
no way.
definitely listen to you guys.
Yeah.
As if he's going to listen to the whole of this episode, all of the shite we've just chatted and go, yeah, I'm going to change my ways. That's it, the church.
Just wear a condom, you fucking idiot.
This is like talking about my life, innit? I can't have 4. Like, I can have 3 and go home, but that 4th one, that's the tipping point, and then I'm out till Tuesday.
I can't, man.
It's going to, in my experience, I remember when I was drinking back in 1902, different time. It's going to fizzle out when it fizzles out. You can't, he's either going to have to do something so bad that it part fucks up his life and it makes him realise, or it will gradually fizzle out. You can't come in as a brother and be like, May, change your ways. It doesn't work like that. In very little, in the history of all boozy, coked up 24-year-olds, has a older brother gone, you really, honestly, it's your liability. As if he's going to go, yeah, you're right. It's just, as long as he's not going to kill himself. Like,
it's also it's when people have retired giving you like, hey, you should stop, and you go, but you didn't. So why don't I just do it for 5 more years like you didn't retire then? And you're like, okay, so
you just need to meet any bird, because that can never end badly. I know you do coke and drink, but just meet any girl. That'll sort you. I mean, I don't know any bad relationships
that started with low self-esteem and a coke addiction.
We should commit.
It can help though sometimes to meet a girl and calm yourself down a bit. Jade's defo calmed me down a lot.
Yeah, but you met Jade. You didn't meet a girl. You meeting the right person, whether it's girl, boy, or whatever, or someone on the binary spectrum. I'm changing. If you meet a they, yeah, cool.
Go on.
It's not the meeting of that person that's going to sort you out. If you meet someone you really like and that happens, but you can't just be like, I'm a big cokehead and I'm drinking all the time. I just need any fucking girlfriend.
Because women are all sane and on the right track. All of them famous.
You're just going to end up being
there's no way that the type of woman who would love me, a coked up mess, is also a coked up mess. She's clearly a lawyer or a doctor, just waiting to fix me.
Yeah.
Just bored of her job of being a woman, that she just wants me to stumble into her life and be like, hey, give him 5 years, I could maybe be a dad.
Yeah, but
I'm a highly educated career woman, but I need a project.
You could invest, like that's a good way to go to get someone out your league. Maybe he's really attractive. Maybe like a real ugly lawyer could be like, if I invest in him for 5 years, I'll have a really good looking, well put together boyfriend at the end.
Mate, no, what you're going to do then is be a drinker who does coke, who has an angry girlfriend. Just be a fucking boozer who does coke. Don't involve a woman who is now going to be constantly disappointed with you.
Aye, don't drag her down with you. Go down in flames alone, like a king. Have some fucking respect for the fairer sex. Do it alone and go out swinging. That's my advice. Fucking, you know what? Get another bag. Fuck it. You know what? 2020. America is going to cease to exist as a country next year. Get another bag and just do it.
It will, yeah.
Yeah. It's just not. That's my advice to him. Fuck it. America's 100%.
China's looking moody. The US is on the ropes. COVID's a fucking nightmare. Get another bag. Lean into it. Nice one. Oh God. Got a tune to. Is that us? Is that end of business?
I mean, we probably need a break, don't we?
Oh, Daniel Sloss, what a fucking pleasure it's
Thanks
been.
Genuinely so much for having me.
I think we made some interesting points around some rather hilarious bullshit.
I can't remember what any of them were.
We close out with a song on the audio.
Good. Would you like me to sing it?
Yeah, it's it's My Way. Fucking, as Mark Nelson. I fucking did it, maybe. This is our first ever drum and bass track sent in by Chris Townsend, who is Bass Jedi, who's a absolute Hall of Famer, a listener. It's by North Bass. It's called Light It Up, featuring the Melody Men. It's out today. You can purchase it on Beatport. North Bass, NORTHBASE, North Bass. Check it out. Absolute tune. Daniel Sloss, thanks for coming in. What a fucking pleasure that's been.
That's a good one. They're going to enjoy that. If you are watching on the video version, please go and get some merch or something from HAWawayPod.com. And extra episode every single week on patreon.com/HAWawayPod. Bye, Felicia.
Bye.